Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Winning Ways. And it's a very, very happy day for me today because, look, it's not so happy for others, but it's very, very happy for me because I have back from your trip to Harley Street and, you know.
Harley Street.
Are you okay? Because we've been very worried
There's
about
two types of Harley Streets. One's for facelifts, one's for motorbikes. Which one do you think I went to?
No, I know which one you went to, and I'm just hoping you're okay because we
James,
had some very bad.
If you have a look at my
about.
face, have a look with the camera on me. Do you think I need a facelift, James? Have a look. The public can
listen,
decide.
I don't know
I've had a body drop. They hold your face and drop your body. It's like a facelift, but I'm very, very lucky. I'm still good looking.
No, there's no doubt.
No doubt. No, but I'm back. I'm back.
You're
Jim.
back. But, you know, suicide mission this morning. We had to put away all the ropes and scissors and everything today because yesterday was not a good day for you.
I had a winner.
Yeah.
One runner, one
I
winner.
don't think it helped. 6-0?
Oh, football. No, you're right. And then,
6-0.
and then my beloved Ireland. Wasn't that a travesty?
Well, I don't know where they were last week against Australians. If they played like that against Australians, they would have beaten them.
Yeah, absolute travesty. I really, really thought it just shows even a jaded All Black side can come back and win. They're a great, great team. Well done to them, but I thought my beloved Ireland had it.
You know, my beloved Springboks gave the little froggies something to think about.
Wonderful. Yeah. Just control our discipline, it'll be even better side. But
well, you know, when you've got a whole lot of scoffs, what do you expect?
Punching and pushing.
You know, they were brought up. They were brought up donning each other. You got to have a full gun.
Donner, I'll donner you.
The interesting thing was that I love the panels they put together for. You know, they've got. Normally Mallet and yes. I think Nas and Mallet are unbelievable. Yeah. And this year they had Yanni Duplessis this week.
Well,
Yanni
he
Duplessis.
took pidgin English to a new level. The doctor, he talks sense, but he comes out with a real Afrikaans accent.
Yeah, he talks sense until they asked him about the refs.
What
And
did
then he lost it. He lost his tongue. The cat took it.
Some player in his blazer.
Yeah, in his blazer. He went out in a blazer of glory too. Okay, so let's move on and go and have a look at 3 to follow. Well, we got you a couple of nice winners over the week, and we start off with the first timer from the Mike de Kock yard. They seem to just have this endless stream of conveyor belt horses. They come out, they look like they're good. This one might be very good because it's got the pedigree.
Mike de Kock, he's got wonderful pedigreed horses, and rightly so. He's the leading light worldwide. He's
a leading 3-year-old as well.
Yes, he is. He is the top man, and he brought out Dubai Dancing, who is a sister to Cape Town Noir for Mike and Norma Rattray, and I like the look of this horse, James.
Well, let's go and pick it up at the start. Drawn 6, and Anthony Del Peche back in the saddle because they've had a very lean time without Anthony Del Peche's team. Now all of a sudden it shows you when he's back in the saddle.
Yeah, he's a great rider. Great rider. He gets her out well. We're concerned that it could be a bit of an experience, but shows good pace and wins a good race. It was a champagne showers down the inside. Brandon Lorena is in the whitish colours if you're watching with the shadow roll, the noseband, and he's given it a nice ride. It's going long. It had the form, but in Michael Rattray's colours and the Lammerskral colours and the red and white is the horse that we picked out, Dubai Dancing. Only late does the penny drop, James.
Yes, she's comes under a bit of pressure, and when Anthony changes the stick into the left, that's when she really takes off. But Champagne Charles is going easily here, and she's now getting scrubbed along. The rest of them are flat to the boards. Nothing's going to trouble these two.
Lady Captain runs a good race. Had the form. That's in third. Dennis Dryer's horse with Keegan DeMello up the middle. But here, as you say, changes to left hand. He says, "Come on, girl, we've just got to find that length." And she still doesn't know what's going on. He changes back, gives her a slap on the shoulder. She goes out towards the outside horse. But here the penny drops. You want me to run straight?
Yeah, and really gets up to win a very, very nice race. She's bred to go much further than this, and I'm sure she will go further.
I think she'll be a very decent miler. She's not as robust as her brother.
Yeah.
She's more angular, but she's going to be a very nice filly, this.
Okay, we're going to move on from that and go and have a look at Turfentine, Standside Track, 19th of November. This was a Tuesday. And these colours pop up every single week, and no different this week. Alec Laird stepped out, one for the Eusters, and this was Mr. Cricket. Very well named, this horse. Is a Judpot out of Follow On,
Yeah.
Mr. Cricket.
Very nice.
Named after Mike Hussey.
Mike Hussey,
Yeah, he's Mr. Cricket. The Australians call him Mr. Cricket.
Mike Hussey.
Well, he's the only guy that had any brains in Australia. So he had to be Mr. Cricket. There was no one else that could be Mr. Cricket.
Well, Clark certainly didn't show his talent. He got 20% of his match fee taken away for telling the bowler Anderson they were going to break his arm. Can you believe it? You know, but
no wonder Anderson bowled so slowly to the Test match.
Yeah, well, 1-0 to the Aussies, but this horse won a very good race, James. They say a well-named horse. I thought the runner-up Sovereign Mint looked a very tough horse to beat, but the money poured on from 5-1 to 18-10 on Mr. Cricket.
Yeah, let's go and pick it up at the start. The horse that ran second in that R250,000 maiden plate for Robbie Sage and Gunther Rocherman, and had to find one again here. It's the second horse is in the yellow, bright yellow
Right
colours.
ahead of the winner.
Right in front of the winner.
Yeah.
And the winner's behind in the Eustace colours.
Yeah, this is an interesting race. As it pans out, we get a bit of action down from Platinum Jet towards the outside. But through the last 600, you can see that the race is between Mr. Cricket and Sovereign Mint. And I think the commentator might have given it to Sovereign Mint. That's how close it was, James.
Yeah. And the favourite was Lucky Luciano. Well-named horse. Sean Terry's runner was straight him on towards the outside. But now Mr. Cricket moves up to Sovereign Mint.
Yeah, Martinez Mini's riding a lot of winners lately, James. He's going through a
He's
purple patch. Good, strong rider.
Yeah, a very good rider, Martinez. Strong guy.
And strangely enough, James, so is Gunther Rocherman. These two riders who fight it out are going through a purple patch in their riding careers. But it's a great race, James.
Yeah, I've always liked both of them as jockeys. I think they're both very, very competent indeed. And Sovereign Mint looks like it gets up here, and then the last stride, the other one gets him on the post.
Yeah, I can see why the commentator might have got it wrong or might have edged towards the runner-up. It's very, very close. But this, as we said, by Judpot, who's been a sensational sire to the start of his career. And I think James got to follow Mr. Cricket.
He looks like he'll go a bit more ground too, as
Alec
well.
Laird's got young horses.
Yeah, he certainly has.
Whoa.
But they spent a lot of money and they deserve them. Let's go to another guy who's stepped out. One last week we made as a good thing to follow. Carl Nesius rode it. You should have seen the gallop because Carl Nesius was on this one for Glenn Puller and Wednesday the 20th of November at Kenilworth. Now this is drawn towards the outside, which is never the best draw. And this one's a very nice race. We think this might be very good.
Yeah, they'll show you the race now. Look where Silicon, I think it's right on the outside. And there's Silicon Valley. The horse that has to beat is a horse called Surrey, and they are way better than the other. Surrey comes out of trap 2 with a noseband and soon goes off towards the fence. But the winner is right on the outside now in the white silks and has a few lengths to find as they run into the home stretch. But a very good, and the money game, just talking about the money here, James, 10-1 to 5-2, Silicon Valley.
Yeah, this really was strongly supported. The winner that they had last week wasn't supported, so they obviously had a line. Carl rode that as well. It's amazing how Carl can get around and find them because he doesn't normally ride for the pullers, but 2 in a week. There's Surrey in the yellow with the sheepskin noseband going through the 600 on the inside. Looks to grab a winning lead here.
I thought it was home. I thought Surrey was home and rubbed down. They run to the final 2 furlongs, 400 to go, and the self-professed champion jockey Smitsdorf sends it clear, and it's home for my money. But the money horse, Carl Nesius has timed it perfectly. Here it comes, Silicon Valley. Remember the name from the outside draw. The third horse was well beaten, James.
Third horse was easily beaten, and these two pulled well clear of the field. There's a JPEG, bred by Claver Flay out of a model man mare. It shows you our pedigree still keep coming to the fore. And this is
JPEG's
really
had a
nice
good
horse.
start, James.
Yeah, he's been a good
good
he
stallion.
should be.
Yeah.
He was an internationally top horse.
International Group 1 winner. Very good horse, JPEG.
Yeah. So those are the 3 to follow, and they look like three quite nice horses. We don't often tip three horses that win, but you could be following those horses in the right races throughout their career. You'll be able to win some cash. We're going to move on and we're going to look at the Sansui Summer Cup from the 1st of December 2012. This was last year's race, and then we'll discuss this year's race.
Meters, and away they go in the Sansui Summer Cup, hosted by Gauteng, and out well is Vettel. Wagner's there in the early part. White Line Fever's also well placed, 2 lengths off that leader. They followed by Ilabella's in a handy spot, as is Zambuca. Shogunner, they race there 4 off the leader. Il San Pedro running behind them, 5 lengths from the leaders now. Smunge runs behind that and is 6 off the leader. Brooks Club is outside of those. Knock on Wood is further back, then Sage Throne. They 7 off the leader, Mujada behind that. On the inside, Shogunner, and then we go back to Soul Master just to take up momentarily. Soul Master's racing there, 9 or 10 lengths off that leader. Then we go to Silver Flyer, who's in the green cap. Pierre Jourdan, Chessalon runs behind them, and they race there 10 or 11 lengths from the leader as they continue to the 1,000 meter mark. Golden Crest is further back in the field, followed by Silent Partner. They 13-14 off the leader. Astro News and Empanosa Hen is the trailer. They climb their way towards the 800 meter mark in the Sansui Summer Cup, and it's Wagner who's going to bring them for home, the leader. Wagner, homeward bound, leads the way a length and a half. Ilabella's in the second spot now. Il San Pedro behind that. Vettel, 2 off the leader. White Line Fever behind those. Zambuca, Smunge. Brooks Club is over to the stand side. Pierre Jourdan, they got 5 to go. Silent Partner is also looking to run on. Got their 5 or 6 to find on the leaders. Mujarab has still got 6 lengths to go. It's Wagner, Ilabella, Il San Pedro, Pierre Jourdan, White Line Fever. Shogunner is there. Zambuca runs behind those. Then it's Vettel. It's still Wagner, the leader. Il San Pedro runs behind that with 150 to go. Shogunner looking to run on Zambuca. White Line Fever, but it's Wagner. Wagner's going all the way into the Sansui Summer Cup, and Wagner's pulled it off. He's won the Sansui Summer Cup, hosted by Gauteng. Shogunner was in behind that in second. Il San Pedro behind those, and they were followed further back by possibly Astro News. But it's Wagner who asserts his authority behind those. Then it's Vettel. It's still Wagner, the leader. Il San Pedro runs behind that with 150 to go. Shogunner looking to run on Zambuca. White Line Fever, but it's Wagner. Wagner's going all the way into the Sansui Summer Cup, and Wagner's pulled it off. He's won the Sansui Summer Cup, hosted by Gauteng. Shogunner was in behind that in second. Il San Pedro.
Well, there you go. Back to defend his crown, Wagner. This time ridden by Muzieni. Last year it was Kamala. That was this run of Kamala's
big races, yeah.
Big races, yeah.
I see they backed it last year, 40 to 1 to 16 to 1.
Yeah.
The money, the humble hero, Joe Soma, he got that right. He must be hoping. His prep's gone right. He ran a good third the other day. So I think it's got it all to do, though.
Yeah, it certainly has. I think it's a tough race. But unbelievably, Wagner has got 53. He's got half a kilo more than he won with last year.
Yeah.
So, you know, who knows
it's a
whether
quiet
he
year,
could
James. It's possibly the quiet year in between. But
yeah.
Just look at the race, because I'm going to be up there. I've got a runner on the day.
Me too.
There we go. The big guns are in town.
Yeah, we're in town. We'll shake them up a little bit, those Joburg boys.
Yeah,
let them know that we arrived.
Yeah, we'll show them a trick or two. But Jim and I are rolling into town, but there's some great racing on the day. But this is just an interesting race again, James. How do you view it? You know, I'm a Wiley Hall man. I've always thought he was a very good horse. I went from him in the Vodacom Durban July, did my money, but I got him right in the Derby, and him and Cherry on top going to renew that great clash they had the other day. What do you think?
I like Ilabella. I think she's had a perfect prep. She's ended up last year being very strongly fancied to win the race, and she was far too handy. I think you've got to give her a chance, that filly.
You like it a
sit
lot.
on her, and I like her a lot. I think that where she's weighted, she's at the bottom of the weight.
Jeff Woodruff's horses are doing well. I've always been a great fan of Yorkers, but he's got York and Kahlua Castle of the two that I want to touch on. They both got a chance.
I would think they're both there in
Because
the race.
Talina's a good third string to a bow. You know, it's a Guineas winner.
It's a very, very open race indeed. Everything's there that's got to be there, that should be there.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be a very good race. And it's going to be a good race day. There's lots of good racing on the
Great
day.
racing.
You want to get to Turfentine, Sansui Summer Cup Day is always an absolute
Don't
pleasure.
miss it. Get to Turfentine, get out there, watch great racing. They start from about 1 o'clock, the group races, all the way through. There's 12 races in the day, a lot of fun. It's going to be a massive, massive day. And James, one last horse, Natal horse up there, Royal Zulu Warrior. Can he go to 10?
Funny enough, he would be my horse. I would think that he's the big danger. And
Yes.
I better turn off the phone.
Yeah, someone's just saying to you that...
saying to me that I'm talking
you go to
nonsense
Joburg.
again,
Someone's texting you about Joburg.
Maybe they offered me a free air trip.
That's what it is. It's a free air trip. I wouldn't turn it off if it's a free air trip.
Oh no, this is a big patron. Listen,
I was offered a free air trip.
I got to phone this guy and
Big
find
patron.
I got to find out what he wants. He obviously wants some information from me.
James,
big
I
patron.
got flown once up for the big race. Do you remember
Did you?
those? Do you remember those Dakotas?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Right, have you put your phone off?
No, I'm just told him I'll be back.
I'll be back.
I'll be back. Don't worry.
Arnie.
I'm working at the moment.
So, James, just before we wrap up on the Summer Cup, it was a great race last year. I think it's a stronger field this year, James.
Well, I think it's a very competitive field.
Yes.
A lot of the old favourites are back there. You know, you got White Line Fever back again.
Stratum rides out,
Yeah, Smungy Mungy's back, Ilabella's back. The two fillies, Cherry on the Cake and Cherry on the Top. Cherry on the Top, remember, she won the Triple Crown. So she's got to be useful, and I think she's been prepped for this race. She had a shocking Durban season. She comes into the calculations as well. It's a tough one, but I'm nailing Ilabella, and then I'm funking for the KwaZulu-Natal horse because I think that Big Com.
Hibri Roy's horse.
Yeah, Big Com's certainly kept them on their toes.
Royal Zulu Warrior. He won the big race the other day, so it looks like great racing. But that's the blast there, James.
That's the blast. We're going to move on, and we've got a plum of the week coming up.
Mr. Whatever the leader. Crackerjack Ace on the inside, then Zestville. Fly First Class trying to get into the race, then Tennessee Strategy. But Mr. Whatever's gone clear of the opposition inside the 200-meter marker. And it's race over here. Mr. Whatever. Rider looks over his shoulder a couple of times. They won it by 4. Second place will go to Zestville, then Crackerjack Ace. Close for fourth, Banu Makube or Tennessee Strategy.
Well, you could have got 12 to 10 on Interbet with this horse. This horse was an absolute blinder. He's a really good horse over 5 furlongs. He had Anton Marcus on it and it showed. He just cantered in.
Superb sprinter. The horse who beat him at Gravel the other day has gone on and won again. He came from a bad draw that day. And there's a little bit of give in the ground. He's even better, this horse.
Yeah. I think he's a very good horse. And congratulations to the Lunds and the team for producing what looked like the Interbet Plum of the Week. You can't miss them. We're going to go and have a break. We'll be back with current affairs after the racing.
Right, James, here we go.
Right, well, here we go. Back that quickly. We're going to have a look at 4 big races in South Africa. They were all in Cape Town, and my goodness, we had some racing there. And I think that there's quite a good bunch of horses racing around there. Very
good. There's some very nice horses. It was a big day for Dynasty. What a great stallion. You know, after Jackson and Dryers, filly horses like that, people are saying, where's the backup? Well, we saw the backup. The backup's here. And it was a superb day for Dynasty, a great day for Brett Crawford. And very pleased for all of them. But I think, as you say, James, some good horses. It's going to be a wonderful season down there.
The first one we're going to go and have a look at is the Green Point Stakes. Now, Beach Beauty, I didn't think anything went for her in the race. she didn't run any type of race at all. And let's go and have a look at it.
We set, ready to run. All clear. Racing from that 1600 meter mark, and Gifted for Glory slow in the starter set go. Bravura also didn't come too well out of the gates and has dropped back to the tail of the field. No Worries responded quick as Hill 54 and Beach Beauty is up there with the firing line, and Castle Thorpe between runners is also pushing forward to go and race up handy. Next it's Cape Town Noir who's tracking Beach Beauty. King of Pain is sitting on the rail of the grey and racing about 6 off the leader. A length and a half next we got Bulsara racing on the outside of Gifted for Glory after that slow start. Is now 10 lengths off them. 2 further back, Ice Machine, Jet Explorer. Next we find Big City Angel easily 14 lengths off that leader. Hot Ticket, Punta Arena's back, 1 from last. And Bravura racing at the end of a stretched out field. 18 lengths cover them through the middle of the bend. They head towards the 700. No Worries stretching them out in front. Clears off to lead by 2. Hill 54 is tracking in second. A gap of 3 behind that to Castle Thorpe. A length and a half next we find Beach Beauty and Cape Town Noir. They side by side, 7 lengths off the leader. Then comes King of Pain outside of that Bulsara. Gifted for Glory, Ice Machine as they straighten up in the Green Point Stakes with 400 meters left to go. No Worries along the inside. Up the middle it's Hill 54. Cape Town Noir. He's starting his run up the outside. Castle Thorpe. Beach Beauty is now being asked for an effort into the final 200. No Worries along the inside. Cape Town Noir is up the outside. King of Pain is running an absolute cracker, and King of Pain with Ice Machine taking off towards the inside. Ice Machine and King of Pain. Ice Machine got there, beats King of Pain into second. Then it's Beach Beauty in third, close behind that for fourth. Cape Town.
Well, good luck to the team. Kevin Shea, I tell you, he must have been on pills. I've never seen him so vigorous in a finish in my entire life.
He hasn't lost it. You know, Kevin Shea is an excellent rider. If the horse is right, Shea will win it. He's proved it years and years. He's been doing it. He's been doing it all over the world.
And he ran third on a 60-61 shot in the big race, the 2 million rand race.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Shazy's back.
James,
but that was very vigorous of Shea.
Wonderful for Ice Machine because it was bred by the Meekers. Yeah. It's owned by the Meekers. I see it's changed stables now with Dean Cannemare. So he probably had one eye on Cape Town Noir and he thought, well, that's not going to win. And suddenly this came up. You can't keep the Sylvanas out the winner's box, James.
No, listen, there's some very, very good stallions around at the moment.
Correct.
And I must say good luck to them. I feel for King of Pain because he's
he's a very good horse too. He showed it here.
He's the boy, that horse. He's a lovely horse. And
Gray's in.
I think he's a very, very good horse, and he showed it there. He'll be a runner
James,
in the
and Beach Beauty. Well, what amazed me in the race there, Sean got it on the fence, beautifully placed, and Carl had managed to come over from Cape Town Noir. People mustn't forget Cape Town Noir came from a very deep draw. But he gets it over, and he's a length and a half off Sean. He turns a length in front. I don't know, he sort of snuck it round Beach Beauty.
It's I was very disappointed with Beach Beauty's run. She only ran on really at the death. She looked like a very flat run to me. Yeah. And maybe even
she wasn't beaten far, as you say, only late in the race.
Run,
you know, No Worries went very quickly. It was a very good prep because bear in mind he's ran fourth in the Vodacom Durban July. He ran fourth in the Daily News, so he went a little bit further. It was a very good run. He's a good Kahal, and he placed off that quick run, and then fifth Cape Town Noir, and then Big City Angel. Not a bad effort as well.
Yeah. It certainly was a nice race. We're going to go and move on, and we're going to have a look at the Selangor Cup. That was the next one on the program, and this was the Triumph for Dynasty. Let's go and have a look at it.
We set, ready to go. All clear. Racing in the Selangor Cup from the 1600 to a perfect beginning. Sails south and just they dropping back to the tail end of the field. Capel Top responded quickest from Speed Rocket. Pushing past, we got Juddering Angel moving past in search of the lead. Next on the rail comes Capel on the yellow cap and settling about 3 lengths off the leader. Half back on the outside comes Dynastic Power. Zambezi Torrent, the light blue silks, is giving about 8 lengths start. 3/4 back on the outside, we find De Cock, and then comes Sail South. Power King is trapped 3 deep towards the rear of the field, leaving Legislate Strongman, and behind that one we got Counts Rocket. Those are racing at the end of the line, but it's 12 lengths that cover them first to last as they head round the turn towards the 800. In front, it's Juddering Angel that sets the pace, goes a length and a half or so clear. Capel Top is in second, Speed Rocket is racing in third. Then we find the yellow cap of Captain on the run, being passed by Dynastic Power, Zambezi Torrent, De Kock, the black body, the red cap creeps closer. Then comes Sail South Legislate. Behind that comes Strongman, and Counts Rocket is 4 deep into the home straight as they straighten up in the Selangor Cup with 450 metres left to go. Juddering Angels, the one in front. Speed Rocket. Dynastic Power is deeper out. Down the inside, we've got Captain on the run who's starting his run. And up the outside, De Kock is starting to reel them in as they enter the final 200. Juddering Angels, Speed Rocket. Up the outside, De Kock and Dynastic Power are taking off together, but it's De Kock that now gets driven into the lead, into the final 100. Down the inside, Legislators coming to make a race of it to the wire, and De Kock gets there. De Kock beats Legislate. Close behind that, Dynastic Power and Speed Rocket in a photo.
Right, there we go. What a race for Dynasty. Superb racehorse, superb stallion too. And well done. A great day for Glen Hat, James.
Well, he had the first 4 past the post, didn't he? Dynasty.
Glen Hat, no, he had 4 winners.
No, Dynasty.
Yes, first 4 past the post.
No, Glen Hat's not Chuck Norris. He's riding like Chuck Norris, but
He's
he
riding
can't
like
ride
Chuck.
all 4 of them. Okay?
That's right. First 4, all by Dynasty.
By Dynasty.
Very, very good and wonderful for the stallion. The Group 2, nice to see the 3-year-olds, James. Quite a close finish when you look at the first 6, 8 horses. I don't know how many lengths they were spread over. Let's see, the first 10 were within 4 lengths.
Yeah, I think that that's indicative of what we have. They're very competitive, the 3-year-olds. There's nothing that steps out. But De Kock, I'm thrilled that it won because it's famously named after...
the head of the jockey club.
Yeah, the head of the jockey club.
Yeah,
that's
Rob de
exactly.
Kock.
Rob de Kock, who wouldn't allow them to call this horse something else. So it became famous, you know. Rob de Kock ended up winning the race, and
So it's Mary Slack's horse.
yeah,
Wachelbos.
Mary wanted to chat because it was unnamed. Gary Player stud bred it, so
Okay.
good luck to
Good
Gary
luck
and
to
the
Gary,
team,
yeah.
and you know,
Yeah.
fantastic to see them go and win a nice race like this.
Yes.
And
And
just shows you.
what name did Mary have for it? Or
She
did
had
Gary
some
have?
actress's name, actor's name, I think it was, you know, someone like, who's the guy that did Pirates of the Caribbean?
Johnny Depp.
No, the other one. Orlando Bloom.
Oh, well, the good looking, yes.
I think it was, listen, that wasn't the name, but it was one of those names. And they said, you can't use it, too famous. It's a famous person's name. Meanwhile, we have Vettel running and all types of horses running here.
Jose
we have Nick
Mourinho.
Klaus, Jose Mourinho. We've had them all.
Yes.
No, but you can't use this one. So he said, okay. She said, okay, can I use De Kock? Yeah, that's not a famous name. She said, well, we'll see.
It could end up being famous. Well done, Mary. It could end up being famous. It's just won a Group 2 coming from off
And
the...
it's not named after Mike De Kock.
No,
Well, it's
Rob
named
de Kock.
after who you want to think it's named after. But it's named after a pariah.
James, before we go, Rafe, Legislate, good run too.
Legislate, fantastic run. Listen, they all ran. I thought Hat rode a fantastic race on this horse, and I think he's right.
Stern Ellie and Dean Canama, 3rd and 4th, they got to be happy. The horses are right.
You know, go back to Glen Hat since he's moved to Brett Crawford. Brett Crawford's stable has absolutely turned the corner, winning everything.
Yeah.
And I think Brett's a very good trainer,
Yeah.
good horseman, and I think he's had the proper preparation. And certainly Glen Hat has just put the cherry on the top.
Yeah, well done to them. Well, their afternoon didn't end there.
No, let's go and have a look at the next one.
Yeah, the next one we're going to show you is the Lanzarak Ready to Run. Is that the order?
No,
Sorry,
no,
I
we're
think we
not.
got it the wrong way
No,
around.
we
It's
got it the wrong way around.
It's the Betting World Merchant. The
Yeah.
Betting World Merchant is a Grade 2 race over 1,200 metres. And our man Glen Hat, we'll see him here again.
All clear. Racing in the Merchants from the 1200. Divine Jet a little bit slow, and he's slotting in behind runners. Getting away the quickest on the down side of the track was Capel Wright, and he's going off to set the pace, and Hammy Zucker is also up there in the thick of things. They're all tacking over towards the middle of the track. Towards the inside of that lot, we find the West is wide. Then comes Trade Emblem. Next it's Le Patineers sitting on the outside of runners as they're all tack over now towards the inside. Then comes Hamizuka. Javid Aura's racing next, and behind that we got Captain Secret. Divine Jet has dropped to the tail of the field as they head past the 600. Cap All Right is the one in front, and Louvre has moved up to race into second. Back along the inside of the track we find Trade Emblem. Then comes the red cap of Le Patineers. The west is wide. Hamizuka. Between runners we got Milord's Throat, Javid Aura and Divine Jet is now being angled to the middle for his run, and he's starting his move as they enter the final 200. Cap All Right is in front. Louvre down the inside. Tevez out the back, and Divine Jet over the top. He's coming home full of running. Tevez has hit the lead. Divine Jet up the outside. Tevez made a run for it. Divine Jet, Javid Aura doing the chasing. Tevez got there from Javid Aura, Divine Jet, and Cap All Right next towards the inside.
Very good win. There were Mark Bass and his team come through with a very good win. And Glenn Hatt, we were talking about him earlier. And this is Caesar, James.
Yeah,
the front belongs to
they've
Caesar.
always liked this horse. Bassi has always thought this horse was very, very good. And good luck to them winning a race like this.
Yeah.
You know, they tried him over a bit further, brought him back, and he came into the race with the right weight, 53. I think that's what probably won it. He perfectly
it was perfectly placed. James, Divine Jet doesn't do itself much favours of walking out the gate.
No.
James, a couple I want to talk on. Shavduro, he ran up the Guineas down in Cape Town a year ago. He's a very good horse, James.
Very good horse indeed, and you know, he's. I think that there are a couple of decent horses. Cap All Right is always there or thereabouts.
He's a good horse.
He's becoming an old horse. Shades of Indigo ran a cracking good race to run 5th. He's perennially.
What about Louvre, James?
Louvre got interfered with at the death as well. She's gutsy as they
gutsy
come.
filly, eh?
Yeah,
sure.
She
She's
always
a good
showed
filly.
it, even when she was in Joburg with Waiho. She's a very good filly.
She's
indeed.
a good filly. This was a tough race, and she was in the scrum till she got bowled at the end. Well, that was the Merchants. Well done to Michael, all his owners, and Walter, as we know him as.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Walter lately?
No, Walter's, you know, he's got this big house on the golf course now. He's become a bit of a Lani, so, you know, so but he still remembers his mates, you know. He sends me up a jacket every now and again, just, you know, so. You
Must
know,
have lost my address.
Yeah, he's lost your address and your telephone number. Right, let's go and have a look at the next one, which is the Landsrack Ready to Run Stakes.
Yeah. This is a very, very good race. The reason we want to show it to people is that it's aligned with the sale, which is down in Cape Town. We just had the Ready to Run sale. I went down to it. Huge success. They were paying big money for some beautiful horses, James.
Yeah, very interesting. A lot of buybacks.
Well, they want to qualify.
Well, that's what it's all about, you know. And the worry with these sales is now they're becoming more and more a buyback sale.
Yeah, James, I'm a firm believer. You go to sale, you want to buy a horse to race. Buy a horse that can race in any race. It's a bonus that you've got this race. You know, only one horse can win it. Looked like Red Ray was supposed to be a good thing.
That's what showed. That's exactly what showed. Here and in Johannesburg this year, the big expensive ones.
Yeah, they're not guaranteed.
Not
guaranteed. They've been prepped, and a
them.
lot of people say, well, these have done well, but it's not a guarantee, and that's why it's such a good race, because Mark, as he flew his horse down, the people all around the country can go and contest huge money. But whenever you go to sale, James, I'm a firm believer there's lots of other races to be run if you get a good horse. So it was a good sale. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and the quality went for money.
Well, let's go and have a look at the race, because this was the downfall of the supposed champion, Red Ray, by Captain America. Beautifully prepped as well. Won his last 3, this son of Captain Al, bred by Fast Fontaine, and he went and showed them.
They ready to go at the 1400. Fired away in the Landsrack Ready to Run Stakes, presented by CTS. Getting away the quickest was Captain's Reserve. Red Ray quickly overcame the draw, and he's right up there with the firing line. Bel Coco in the orange is pushing past. On the rail we got Antonius Dubois. Then comes Captain America, Rio Branco, being followed by Orion. A length and a half next, it's Daviana, the red cap, who's now passing that one. Then we find Nice Lagoon, 6 of the best, tribute to Kylie. Jay's Man is being followed by All About the Dash, and then comes Playing the Enemy and Reem. Those two are sitting at the end of the line, a good 14 lengths off that leader as they come round the turn towards the 700, and Bel Coco sets the pace from Red Ray, who's tracking in second. Captain's Reserve is in third, and Accelero is sitting in fourth. Captain America, Rio Branco. On the rail comes Antonius Dubois. Daviana is being followed by Orion. Then we got Tribute to Kylie, the white colours, 3 deep into the home straight. Jay's Man is further back as they straighten up. In the Lanzerac, ready to run stakes presented by CTS. 300 metres left to go, and Red Ray gets given his head, and he comes forward and takes up the running. Captain America's on the chase. Back along the inside, Accelero. Orion is towards the inside. Red Ray's got a race on his hands as Captain America draws alongside of him. Captain America, Red Ray. It's Captain America claiming it. Captain America beats Red Ray on the line. Behind that, in third position, we had Orion and...
Well, there we go. What a wonderful one. This is a very, very nice. Well, the front two are very nice horses. Red Ray had to beat a deep draw and get across and ran a cracking good race. But don't take it away from Captain America. Beautiful name for a horse, James.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. You know, just nice to see them win with this horse. These are some owners that have been around for a long time. The overseas guys. Cheryl is here.
Yeah, I had a drink with them down there.
But you know, the Deanne Nagel has.
Has she got a share?
Yeah, she's got a share, and
lovely.
Mrs. Gurney.
Okay.
They're English. The English arrived in town and won the big one. And I think it's fantastic for our racing industry. It just looks like there are more and more people buying horses to race here. They're ready to run in Johannesburg. A lot of Chinese. That's it. Let's move on.
Good. Yeah, let's move on. But well done to Brett Crawford, Glenn Hatt. Well done to these owners. Captain L. Very, very good. So let's move on, James.
The last bit of big news we've got is Gentle Donna won the Japan Cup. She's the champion.
What a machine. She's earned the most stake money in the world, hasn't she?
Over $10 million. Okay. And her dam was bought for $20,000 at the Doncaster sales as a yearling. Sold for $500,000 after she won the Shively Park to Yoshida family, and she's now produced this champion.
Deep impact.
They ran 1-2 in the Japan Cup.
Yeah, James, this is a superstar. And on that note, talking about the first baby race, Claverflay will be thrilled because a horse called Captain Rock by 7th Rock has won the first juvenile race. So their stallion off to a flying start. Well done to Chrissy Rasmus and the Ralph Syndicate who bred it. Captain Rock. Nice name.
They're very nice. Let's go and have a look at, we got an interesting clip for you. They've been demolishing their infield board, and we're going to show you the demolition of the infield board for those of you that like breaking things. Okay, well, you know, it's better than some of these
Spit it out, James.
shopping malls that have fallen all over the people. You know, this was properly done, and we had a dinosaur go in there, and it had to go and grab
James,
it.
people might say, why are we showing this? But it's been there for years and years. You know, we had the
That's the infield board at Greyville.
infield board at Greyville. There you go. The Star Pendry board used to be up there. Telly betting used to be up there. And times are changing here at the Big G. And we've got a beautiful TV screen in this place. They're just taking away the remnants. But it had to go.
Yeah, and next week we might have the chairman on the show.
Yes,
you know,
there's a chance.
I think he's back, the chairman, so we should have him. He'll be able to tell us what's going on at the Big G. Look forward to who our guest of honor is today in your call. None other than the Big Phil. Phil, the G-Spot, Giorgio. Yeah, he will be here, Big Phil.
The G-Spot.
He's
Phil, the
coming.
G-Spot. It's the right time. It's good to talk to him because people are getting their Christmas bonuses. They want to travel. He sends racing trips all over the world. And with Dubai coming up, Mike de Kock's going to be strong. Just while we're talking about Dubai, the horse of the year is there, isn't he?
Yeah,
Who's training him? Michael as well.
yeah.
He's going to have some string. It's going to be because he got a few horses from Coolmore, and it looks like it'll be great. But James, nothing else for current affairs?
No, that's it. We got to move on because we got racing coming. So let's go and watch the racing. We'll be back with Big Phil. Well, as promised, after a lot of negotiation, we got Phil in the studio, and you know, he's one of those guys that is absolutely passionate about racing, and racing's been much of your life, hasn't it, Phil?
Yes, very much so. I was very lucky to be in school with guys like Mike Gazzi, Joe Soma,
Are you
Ricky
joking?
Sim,
You're lucky
Gary
to be at
Westwater.
school with those guys. I tell you, did you get any education?
Good grounding.
Yeah,
I tell you
good
what, good
racing
grounding,
grounding.
good racing grounding. Unfortunately, sometimes, or fortunately, sometimes school took a backseat, but they were great to be around and taught us a lot. The late Gabby Soma was the absolute legend in our lives. He taught us a lot about racing, so very, very, very lucky.
But as far as schoolwork was concerned, you must be the only successful one out of the whole lot of them.
Very much so.
Yeah. You got a degree?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, tell us about it.
Well, I went.
Don't be modest.
We went obviously all to Marist Brothers, which is a top private school in Joburg. I then did a tertiary education degree. I got a diploma in the purchasing diploma, and that was where I started really on the buying side. Spent my early working life in Joburg, played professional soccer, tore my anterior cruciate ligament, and then Jeff Lloyd was on my case. He was my best man at my wedding. He said, "Come to Durban." And every time I was going back to football, hurting my leg, giving it a break for a couple of months, going back, hurting it, I said to my wife, no, let's get down to Durban. And we went and we stayed with Jeff for a couple of months. He convinced us to move down.
How did you meet Jeff Lloyd? Because it's been a very long and happy relationship, best friend relationship.
You know, being I suppose, semi in the racing game with the Soma Magua family and the Azzies, Mike Azzi used to organise some amateur football games, and there used to always be a punt on the games, and they used to have we were known as the racing team, so we were racehorse trainers, jockeys, fanatics against, and we played a lot of provincial teams, and who used to play soccer. Basically, Mike Azzi organised soccer games.
Do you remember me playing?
I mean, you probably kicked me a few times, so I don't want to remember you.
Well, no one else does either, so don't worry. I was the worst soccer player that ever lived. Anyway, so Jeff Lloyd was involved.
Yeah, Jeff played. Yeah, Jeff Lloyd, Paul Whitmore. As I said, the Asman was playing, Joe Soma, Ricky Sin was the goalkeeper. Yeah, we had a great team. We had a lot of fun, and of course, we used to always get pulled in because we could play a bit. Guys like Mark Patterson, myself, Joe, we used to always get pulled into the racing team to bolster up and try and win the money, and we used to get a bonus. We used to get 2 beers in the change room afterwards by the Asman.
And how was Ricky Sin? Ricky Sin's a guy I'd like to get on this show.
He has never changed. I want to tell you what, you always get people that lose hair, put on weight. He has been stone dilly from day one. He hasn't changed. He was down at the Racing Masters, and I tell you what, he just confirmed that he's just still the same Ricky Sin, and a pleasure to be around.
He's actually one of the great characters in this industry.
Very much so. You know, this racing it's a tough sport. It's full of ups and downs, and he's one of those guys that just seems to pep you up when you need it.
No, I must say, I went on a trip with him, one of the nicest guys you could ever meet. And as a bookmaker, I think he's par excellence. He'll give you anything. Whatever you want, he'll give you. You know, he's just brilliant. Yeah,
I must say, the bookmakers, I do quite a bit of fundraising for people around the industry. We do that comedy evening into July, before the Durban July. And we've changed a little bit to now include people from racing in need. And I must say, the bookmakers have been generous. Every time I approach the bookmakers for taking a table or sponsorships of a hole or golf days and things like that, they're the first guys you try and tap because they are generous.
Let's go back to Jeff Lloyd and your relationship with him. And how is he? Because he's had this injury and he's not going to ride again.
Yeah, it seems like it was there for a while because he took a bit of a fall in the parade ring, as I understand it. And he developed some headaches, and he was riding with these headaches. And he decided, Nicola convinced him to go to the physio and said, go and have it massaged and try to even get these headaches to go. And the Australian physio just said, I'm not prepared to give you a massage until you go for a MRI. And that's what happened. That's when they found there was a blood clot, and he actually discovered he had a stroke. But because he was in such great physical condition, he was able to get through it without any permanent disabilities, and well, he's got the great opportunity of being financially strong and be able to watch his children grow up and watch him play sport without having to think of what he's got to go do from a work point of view.
And they've settled in beautifully to Australia. It's become a way of life for them now.
Yes, I think, when you've got children that have got, he's got a daughter who's Taya, who's a fantastic girl, but she's got a few problems with learning and all that, and the Australians cater for that sort of thing. And I think if I had children in that situation, it would be a no-brainer. You go there, they cater for them, they subsidise their education, and they've made a life for themselves there. They're very happy. He doesn't knock South Africa. He remembers where he grew up and where he made his success and where he met, and he's got a lot of good friends here, and yeah.
I think his second winner he ever rode was for me, Jeff Lloyd. Newmarket, about 1977, pink champagne. You remember it?
Before my time.
Jeff Lloyd, I adore him. I think he's one of the best jockeys that's ever been, and it's such a shame he's never going to ride a July winner. But he'll move on. He doesn't care about that. He had a go when he did.
Yeah, I think he gave it his best shot. He's probably going to hold the record for the most thirds. But yeah, he's always been motivated to try and ride the winner of the Vodacom July. He's flown back a few times. He's paid his own way, but it wasn't meant to be, and he's a realist. I mean, he knows that he's given it his best shot. He's ridden big races all around the world. He's been champion jockey in Mauritius. He's been champion Apia. He's ridden great horses all over the place. He's a great rider. He was a great rider. And I tell you what, I've said it before and I'll say it again, he's got young children coming up. Zach is going to be a jockey like Chad Schofield, Clinton's kid. And this kid will I think he's going to shake up the amateur, the jockey world.
All right, let's move on to Phil Georgia. Phil, the Big G, as they call you. Okay, you didn't know that was your name, but it is now.
Well, I see I've developed it now, hasn't I?
Philly, you love racing. You never miss a meeting if you can be there. Love having a little strike. What drives you? Why is it so exciting for you?
Well, I think everybody's got stress release somewhere in their lives, and I have a passion for racing. I can go and I love the thoroughbred. I go to Summerfeld possibly twice a week. I go and watch the horses work. I don't even know what my own horses look like.
They give you a good breakfast, I can see.
and often. But I go there, I watch them work. I really enjoy the thoroughbred side of it. The interaction. I've met fantastic people in racing. And obviously with my travel business, we've developed a couple of really nice trips around horse racing and sport, but horse racing in particular. Because it's my passion, I believe we can handle it correctly and we can handle it successfully. Excellent.
Well, we're going to have a break at some stage to show the Magic Millions thing, but I don't know, my producers, I think, is probably having a kip there, and let's have it now. Okay, she's not having a kip. There we go. Tennessee Strategy, Commodity Strike. Those are the two Magic Millions successors. Tennessee Strategy, I don't know, he came and beat me. Commodity Strike, Richard Hughes, we showed it last week. It was absolutely fantastic. And now let's go back to Phil. And all right, the travel business is your business. That's where you make your money and you do your business. But you've become synonymous and famous for the Dubai World Cup. That's your graft.
Yeah, 13 years ago, Nicholas Shearer and Andrew Bond planted the seed and said, why don't we were looking to diversify a little bit. We'd be doing rugby and cricket and trips all over the world. And they suggested, why don't you look at doing some trips to the Dubai World Cup? And we did. First trip we did was 17 people. It was consisted of my wife and I, Lauren, my partner Sandy, her husband Nelson, and we went. We had basically our close friends, and We went to the International Village and we gathered up chairs and we raced there for a couple of years and successfully. We had people like Sabine Plattner and her daughter there, and we were dancing on tables and had a fantastic time. But you outgrow that style of racing because, you know, at the end of the day with Dubai now, as we've moved on, we like to try and give people an unforgettable racing experience, with the back of my mind always having value for money built into it. And what's happened is now we've grown, and we walked around the Maidan racecourse when it was being built, myself, Mike de Kock and Kim Shea, and we worked out which was the best place to race from, which was the Parading restaurant. So we went down and we reserved it while they were still building it. And they said, "Why do you want to race there? We're not even sure if we're going to use that facility." We said, "Well, if you're not going to use it, we'll race here on our own." And we did. We raced there on our own the first year, and the second year suddenly there was a whole lot of other people. And then last year they then identified it was the best place to race from the Maidan point of view, and they then decided to put their racing connections in there. But because we've got such a long-standing relationship with the Dubai Racing Club, they allowed us to keep our 70 places in that restaurant, and we've got that arranged with them. So yeah.
Well, all I can tell you, Phil, is the first time I saw it was when it was just built, and it is the place on the racetrack. You're right next door to the jockeys coming out. You're right next door to the parading. You've got the big screens in front of you. You're in part of the action. You get close up to the horses. It's so much better than sitting up in those grandstands and whatever. You just sort of, there you're just detached from it, and it's just a dinner and a meal and a whatever. Here you're part of it. And you're very lucky to have it, I must tell you, and very unbelievable forethought to be involved. But you've got that for as long as you want it.
I'd like to think so. You know, at the end of the day, you know, there's an old saying that says you only get what you pay for. It is the most expensive facility at Maidan to race it now. But at the end of the day, you know, Ken Tritter put in a nutshell. He's coming with us next year, and he said, "I'm coming on one condition. We race in the Parading restaurant. I don't want to race anywhere else anymore." And that's the main reason why people come to Dubai for the World Cup, is for the racing. Everything else is a bonus. We do trips to the shopping festival for 13 grand. You go to Dubai for 4 days, 13,000 rand, flight, 4-star hotel, transfers, all that. But this is it's a trip where you get what you pay for, as I said, and we race in a facility, and it's world class. There's nothing else to say about it.
You have a good hotel lined up?
Yes, we've been in the same hotel. When we were originally booking the hotels for Dubai, we decided to look at the brands that we understand, like Southern Suns and Holiday Inns and all that. And we booked the hotel, the Holiday Inns, which was now then a year later bought out by the Movenpick. We've been with that group from day one. It's the 14th consecutive year coming up. We moved to the Jumeirah Beach for 2 years, year before last and one before that. But we just then decided it had become too expensive, and nobody ever went to the beach. So we said, and the traffic was a killer. Mike, you know, we have a first night cocktail party, a welcome cocktail party, where we invite Mike de Kock and Trevor Brown and Stevie Gell and all the Paul Devlin, all the people that are racing and working in Dubai. And they just said it's too inconvenient to get to Jumeirah now. It's just the traffic. So we've moved back to the Movenpick. It's a 5-star hotel. It's a Swiss group. It's a fantastic hotel. It's a smaller hotel. We try not to be in these hotels like, let's say, Atlantis, where it's chaos. There's people, outsiders come there just to see it, and there's thousands of people around. We like more the personal touch, where we can manipulate the hotel to suit us.
And on top of that, I hear that at the pool, there's a pool up at the top, and on the pool deck you can see some wonderful sights, especially a bearded fellow that wanders around in a Speedo. He's far too old to wear a Speedo, but I hear with all the work that's happened at Harley Street, you know, he's now going to be in better shape this year, so well worth going to just see him wandering around the pool.
Well, I must tell you that there's never a short of a laugh on that trip. And if you're ever feeling a bit down or you're a bit bored, you just got to come up to the top floor to the pool deck, and there you'll have a laugh or two. Because there is Speedos worn by certain people.
Phil, as usual, this trip's getting put together. There are some wonderful memories. In the front here, you've got a couple of caps from the Dubai World Cup, but this is the one that really excites me. This was last year. Can we get a picture of that? As you can see, he gave it to Mike de Kock to sign it, so he signed it upside down. You know, well, he went to Borstal. He never went to Maritz Brothers, unfortunately. But this has got all the horses that ran, the Apache, Zahi, Mushrek, Emotive, Master of Hounds, Soft Falling Rain, as we saw, win Gugu, Shay Shay. They're all there. And all the people that went on the trip signed it as well. So, you know, that's just a great memory, isn't it? You know, and I think we should auction that off at the comedy evening this year. It would probably get a hell of a lot of money. But
I'd be quite happy to auction it off and give the full proceeds can go to charity, whichever we decide. Somebody in racing that needs.
We know you're the most generous man around, but this is a great innovation. And these guys, they want to run around with the South African flag whenever we win a race there. It's like the jockey carries it, doesn't he? He gets given it. And
you know, this year was unbelievable. You know, you don't want to sound bullish, but I was there for Super Saturday, and I was privy to some private conversation with Mike in his stable, and he was really, really excited about Shay Shay's chances for Super Saturday. But after he'd won, he said there was a little bit left in the tank, and he really was excited about Shay Shay running a big race on World Cup night. And funny enough, I saw John Costa at Clearwood, and I said to him, John, you've got to get to Dubai. And he said, why? I said, Shay Shay will win on World Cup night. He said, what makes you so certain? I said, let me tell you something. It's sometimes you just have these, they're racing feelings. And he joined the trip, and I got the most fantastic SMS from him afterwards, which was quite emotional when Shay Shay had won. But I must tell you that when Soft Falling Rain had won, it was fantastic, because if I turned around and you looked in the running at going around the bend, he didn't look like he could win. He was being pushed along. Hannigan had given him a backhander. He wasn't exploding. The horses in front were getting away from him. And then suddenly this horse decided, I want to run and I want to win this race. And he got up to win, and I looked around at the group and we were going mad. People that didn't even know each other were hugging and kissing each other. And there were 65 people all crying. And I wasn't sure what to expect from this, but it was unbelievable. Emotional highs and lows. That's why we're in racing, because of the thrill and the emotional gratitude that you get out of these meetings. And then I had these flags in my pocket, which in the back of my mind, when Shay Shay, because Shay Shay South African bred, it's South African owned, it would be very difficult to give those flags to a guy like Hannigan, who's an English rider. It's owned by the Sheikh. So what we did was I held these in my pocket, and then when Shay Shay, I went into the parading, I said, Mike, I'm gonna pull a surprise. And he said to me, don't tempt fate. And anyway, the result, the horse won. And I watched it next to Mike, and we were going ballistic in there, and I forgot about the flags. And then Gareth Pepper came and said, where are the flags? I said, geez, and I remembered I had 3 of them in my pocket, and I put one around Brian Joffe, and one I gave to Mike, and Mike said, no, give this one to Miles Berzak, and we tied one around him, and I had the 3rd one, and I threw it up to Christophe Soumillon, and he shouted to me, which side up? And I said, red side up, and he was absolutely fantastic. And I remember talking to him at the after party. Mike always has an after party, win, lose or draw. Yeah. They have been fantastic, and they've incorporated our group and really looked after us from that point of view. And at the after party, I said to Christoph, you've won a hell of a lot of friends by what you did with that South African flag. And he turned around to me and said, let me tell you something, Phil, I'm part of the South African team. And that, I just took a step back. I said, here's one of the greatest riders in the world that has just put his whole faith and everything behind the South African team. And we saw an opportunity, not for Let's Go Travel or for South Africa. We saw 2 South African breds, one on the day. John Costa was inland. He couldn't be beside himself.
Phil, I can't carry on because we only allowed a certain amount of time. So what I'm going to say to you, this year's a new year. You're going to the Dubai World Cup. If anyone wants to go to Super Saturday, are you putting together a trip for that as well?
Very much so. We're doing Super Saturday. And then obviously we've got the big trip to Dubai World Cup.
Some will suit guys early in March or later on in March. There's big racing in Johannesburg later on in March. It seems natural to have both of them.
Yes, as I said, we've tied up a private box for Super Saturday. It's very much a shorter trip where we're only going for 3 or 4 days. We're staying in the same hotel. We're basically doing the same things. We're doing the stable visit to Mark de Kock. For those that want to do the 4x4, the bonus for those people is that the race day is not expensive. But the cherry on the top is always the Dubai World Cup.
100%. So both of them, you're able to book with Phil Georgia. You know, Let's Go Travel. Everyone knows them. You'll be watching a little insert that Andrew Bond's going to put in for us now, and enjoy the big day. It is fantastic. Early in the year, you've got to book now, because if you don't book now, there, as you heard, only 70 spots on Dubai World Cup night. Get in and enjoy yourself. It's a trip of a lifetime. I can vouch for it. Phil, thanks so much for joining us. And to all of you out there, you know how to get hold of Phil. Have a great week's racing. We'll look forward to seeing you after Sansui Summer Cup Day.